Morning! Those are the Sand Tank Mountains and Javelina Peak over there. And this is as close as we're allowed to come to those, so we're going to stop here and talk some anime.
Memories.
Memories is an anthology anime movie from 1995. It comprises 3 separate short films, each based on a short manga story by renowned artist and director Katsuhiro Otomo. Other than the original story's author, they have pretty much nothing else in common. Each story is a completely different tone, by a different director, and with a different art style. The first story, Magnetic Rose, is a sci-fi ghost story set in space. It's the longest and most dramatic of the lot. The 4-man crew of beat-up old spaceship Corona are salvagers collecting anything of value from space, old derelict satellites and spacecraft, and they destroy the rest to clear navigation paths. They're on their way home when they receive an SOS. When they get to the source of that distress call, they find a huge collection of space junk circling a magnetic field, and at the center of that they find an old but still functioning luxury space liner floating among the junk. 2 of the crew, Heinz and Miguel, head inside looking for survivors. What they find inside there is unexpected to say the least.
青島 SOS は
ちょっと待て。いや、それが動いてるんだよ。
動いているじゃあ生存者か
多分。
You'd have to have been really sharp-eyed to have caught the fleeting glimpse of a figure in the doorway that was reflected in the mirror in that shot. Magnetic Rose is a lush, haunting story with a lot of fascinating visuals, beautiful artwork, and unexpected emotions. It's a Baroque ghost story set amid futuristic technology. It's directed by longtime Otomo collaborator Koji Morimoto, who directed the Frankengears segment of Robot Carnival. Satoshi Kon, who soon began directing on his own, expanded the script from Otomo's original story and provided the animation direction. I also wanted to mention the art and mechanical designs of Watashi Wanabe. His junk scow, the Corona, has a well-worn look that takes full advantage of zero gravity by putting workspaces at odd angles, and the decor and workings inside the Rose are quite different but just as spectacular, and even the crew's work pods and spacesuits are interesting. Most of the music comes from Puccini's opera Madame Butterfly, especially the aria from Act 2. That's because the spaceship sending the distress call was built by a former opera star with buckets of money. Yoko Kanno is also credited with some original music here, but honestly, amid all the Puccini, I couldn't pick out our usual unique sounds. Rating this segment by itself, I give Magnetic Rose 4 stars. I might have rated it even more highly, but the ending left me slightly unilluminated and unsatisfied. Memory's second story is Stink Bomb. It's a dark comedy about a pharmaceutical worker who accidentally takes an experimental drug that appears to be for some kind of new superweapon. Soon, everyone around him is falling down dead, and stopping him becomes Japan's top military priority. Watching this, I felt like the guy who just didn't get the joke. The hero, or maybe I should just call him the central character, is totally clueless. He's not likably clueless, he's just a total imbecile. He keeps walking around, seemingly oblivious to all the people and animals that keep dropping dead around him, and the pile of dead bodies he keeps having to climb over. This rather simple-minded joke underlying this 30-minute story just drags on way too long. It became silly, not funny, at least for me. The animation, on the other hand, is still darn good. It just seemed like a waste of good ink, and the story has a nice bouncy tune to back it up and helps propel the story forward. Stink Bomb is directed by Tensai Nakamura, who has since directed Wolf's Rain and Project Blue Earth SOS. Rating this segment by itself, I'd give Stink Bomb only 2.5 stars, and most of that is for the nice animation. It's the segment I usually skip when watching Memories. Memory's third and final story is Cannon Fodder. There really isn't much of a story to Cannon Fodder. It's more a slice of life, one day of one family, used to introduce us to a bizarro alternate world where the raison d'etre for the entire city is to keep firing its absurdly large cannons at some unseen distant enemy.
じゃあ撃ってくる
「
The art designs in Cannon Fodder are a bit unusual. As I said, there's no actual story to this, just a presentation of a pretty strange way of life. Boy gets up in the morning, goes to school, where he learns how to fire a cannon. Dad gets up in the morning, goes to work, where he helps load shells the size of locomotives into a cannon the size of a train tunnel, holds his ears while the cannon fires, and then helps swab out the cannon for the next round. The music drives this repetitive lifestyle by setting an industrial mood. There's an almost robot carnival atmosphere to it. Technically, this entire short video is one very long extended scene. We move between scenes by camera pans, trucks, and zooms, sometimes following a character and sometimes not. There are no straight cuts, dissolves, or fades here. In one or two places where there is a change of scene, it's done with a matching dissolve. For example, at work, Dad looks at a picture of his son, the camera zooms in the picture, and when it zooms out again, we're seamlessly with the son at school. If you check out the extras on the DVD, you can get a look at the massive, almost MC Escher-like background canvas that allowed this continuous motion to be filmed. Today, of course, all that would be stored in a computer, and it wouldn't look nearly so baroque. It's technically very impressive, but I'm not sure it did much to actually propel the mood of the story. Cannon Fodder is directed and written by Katsuhiro Otomo himself. By itself, I give Cannon Star 3.5 stars. It's short, about half an hour, and it introduces an oddball society with plenty of metaphor potential, and it's technically interesting to watch the animation. Overall, I think Magnetic Rose makes Memories well worth watching by itself, and Cannon Fodder is a nice chaser. So I give the production as a whole 4 stars. Memories is released in North America by Sony Pictures. It's subtitled in English and French, Spanish, and Portuguese. It has no dubs other than the original Japanese. There's a lengthy extra Making of Memories video included on the DVD that you may find interesting. It includes conversations with directors Otomo, Morimoto, and Nakamura. Thanks for listening.